Thank you for that introduction, Nisha. And I'm truly delighted and privileged to be opening day two at the MMA IMPACT India conference. It is very commendable that Impact, which is in its 10th edition, has emerged as a credible global property. And I want to congratulate the MMA India team, all our members and associates for putting this together and now building the 10th year of this amazing event. This is the only body which brings marketeers, tech enablers, agencies, publishers, and the entire ecosystem under one roof to learn and discuss the emerging trends of modern marketing. The theme for the 10th edition of Impact India is shaping the future of modern marketing. And we will focus on the key pillars of what is influencing this. We are also releasing key industry playbooks, which will act as the powerhouse of knowledge and distinction, Modern Marketeer's Guide to Martech Maturity, the Modern Marketeer's Guide to Connected Consumers, and the Voice Playbook, which was only recently launched. We have a really interesting lineup of best-in-class speakers around the globe. What an amazing day it was yesterday. We were blessed with the most amazing lineup of speakers, digital mavens, thought leaders, and of course, a fantastic galaxy of marketeers who shared with us their thoughts on how to deal with the amazing change and transformation which is happening all around us. And of course, you heard our Chairman Emeritus, D. Shivakumar's keynote address yesterday on the next decade of the marketeer. The modern marketing perspective sessions, which involve diverse brand marketeers across categories like food tech, pharma, technology, FMCG, banking, and finance. And they shared their experiences, their insights, their learnings on what are the emerging marketing themes and frameworks in these days of disruption. Day two promises to build on that, and it's going to be truly exciting. We are going to have a futurologist, Faith Popcorn, who will talk to us about the future of marketing. We will have a renowned academic who will talk to us about modern marketing associations, but let me not give it all away. And you can see that on our agendas. So hang on to your seats. Don't go away, because we are going to have a truly revolutionary set of thoughts which will be shared with us today. And before we jump into the rest of the day, I'd like to share with you a few thoughts which will set up the context of the discussions which are going to follow. As all of us know, and I'm stating the obvious, the world and India in particular is going through a real storm. The COVID crisis has upended traditional ways of working, living, and has impacted every aspect of our society and our economy. An acceleration towards digital transformation and a data-driven society and business is so obvious to all of us. So I won't, really emphasize too much on that theme. But I want to share with you a few facts which really substantiate what we are going through. Yeah, e-commerce is the obvious one. The transformation of consumer behavior has also given us the opportunity to leverage our contributions to new marketing models. And this crisis has been a moment of huge importance for our data scientists, our analysts. And this is, of course, been driven by the Indian consumer who's coming online in multiple categories more than ever before. Shopping, payment, fitness, medical consultation, and the list is endless. Online buyers have gone up by more than 25 million in the last year. And you'll see some varying numbers, but my guess is they'll be higher than this. E-commerce is getting democratized. For the first time, there were more online shoppers from tier 2 and smaller cities than the major metros and tier 1. New formats of e-commerce such as social commerce, hyperlocal commerce are also emerging. Yeah. The second big theme which COVID is driving for us is an acceleration towards sustainability. It has been around on the fringes of society, economy for a while, but the last year has really driven it hard. It has been a wake-up call for the world as we all felt the massive impact of what a single virus could do on our lives, there has been heightened global awareness for the protection of our planet. 2020 has acted as a stark reminder that all of us, we need to take steps towards a greener planet. And of course, very importantly, protect what we have before it's too late. We need to leave this earth in better shape for our children than what we have inherited today. And it is up to us, and the marketeers and all the digital mavens are going to play a very big role in this. And finally, an acceleration towards purpose-driven brands. The strength of brands will be based more than ever on their purpose. With the health, economic, and social crisis we're going through, this has greatly accelerated this trend of having a deep purpose at the core of your brand. As more and more Generation Z gets into the consumption class, they expect brands to demonstrate their commitment to a broader set of societal challenges. Not only must brands have strong ethics, they have to demonstrate that they take action consistent with their ethics and values. And this action must be at the front and center of the brands. So let's explore these three themes very briefly to figure out what are the implications for us. The digital transformation is so fast and exponential that I would like to now submit to you that it is a revolution. It took more than 200 years for the world to grow from the first steam engine to electricity and mass production. However, we have seen that the first computer and now AI has just taken 60 years to equip 5 billion consumers with smartphones, transform the very foundation of commerce worldwide, and disrupt entire industries along the way. The big digital transformations of India are driven by how many people are coming online. Small town India, rural India are all coming on board of the digital bandwagon, fueled by maybe among the cheapest data in the world at somewhere around 15 rupees per GB. And of course, we have one of the best penetrated smartphone markets in the world with more than 400 million smartphones only after China. During the pandemic, there's been a significant adoption of digital activities, even for traditional offline activities like education, fitness, media, consultation, and of course, shopping. There's been a significant digital impact on various other areas like e-commerce, communication. Zoom now is a verb. Digital has transformed many industries. Wallets and digital payments, for example, UPI, which is the Indian success story, did 22 billion transactions in the year ended 21, and a growth of 78% versus the previous year. Yeah, they've been enabled by apps like Google Pay, Phone Pay, Paytm, and the list keeps growing. Investing has gone through the roof. Apps like Zerodha, Upstock in India are democratizing investing. The number of depository accounts increased by 1.2 crores in the last year. And this has been driven a lot by startups. Entertainment, of course, yeah, stating the obvious, Hotstar, Z5, Netflix, the list goes on and on. Video is changing the world of entertainment. Education is getting revolutionized as our children and our students can't go to the institutions. Coursera, Khan Academy, Byju's, Una Academy, etc. are making content available even from Ivy League in, universities for all of us. The list goes on and on. There is no one industry which is immune from the impact, positive or negative. And we, as marketeers and leaders of businesses and institutions, have no option but to ride the digital revolution to our advantage. It's no longer a good PR story. Yeah, it is a question of survival and, of course, one of the biggest drivers of success. What's very interesting because of this revolution is that the moats which were surrounding our business are depleting very quickly, and they're being replaced by innovation. In thinking about what lies ahead, it's important never to forget that change is going to be the only constant. The emergence of startups is changing the face of marketing in India. It's a level playing field with startups having access to capitals and tools, which in the past was restricted only to the big players. The moats around the big businesses are not there anymore. Earlier, the big businesses, the big companies had the advantage of big capital, big distribution, large platforms. Yeah, but that's been now replaced with just share a wallet and mind. There's never been a nicer time to set up your own business and become an entrepreneur. India is among the most exciting places in the world to be a marketeer, driven by access to capital, new ideas, innovation, transformation. And of course, India is the third largest startup ecosystem in the world. Entrepreneurship space driven by technology, food, beauty. The startups are so exciting, and they have been driven by the fundamental fact that India on a 60% level, yeah, more than 1.5 trillion is the consumption economy, which is attracting all the global big capital and private equity players in the world. Yeah, but before we get carried away with change, I just want to reinforce the obvious that consumer intimacy and consumer insights are still going to be at the heart of marketing. Yeah. Organizations who get that right will win the consumers. With so much noise, clutter, proliferation, the need for building a strong brand is going to be much greater than ever. It will require marketers to rethink how their companies go to the market, engage with customers, leveraging digital, social, and building trusted relationships with their consumers. We can see great examples of consumer insights and intimacy, for example, through crowdsourcing, which is asking consumers to share ideas of for new products or of various ways of connecting with them. This has driven some very nice success stories. Lay's went with new flavors of snacks through crowdsourcing. Lego for a new collection of toys. In this world of social media, mega influencers now are being supplemented by mini, micro, nano, hyper-local influencers to build intimacy with the consumer by speaking in their lingo. It is a pivotal time for marketeers, and for the rest of the day, we will be talking about some of the very critical themes which we have to think about for being a great partner to the business or the institution which we work in. Coming to the second very, very significant theme, which is sustainability. Yeah, men and women in every corner of the globe are calling out for concrete action around the protection of our planetary boundaries, our skies, our water, our air. We know that we have maybe 10 years left to prevent irreversible damage to our planet from happening. 10 years is too short a span of time. But rather than saying it's too late, we must choose action, optimism, and our brands must be a part of the solution. They need to be the evangelists, and it's our duty and our responsibility to act before others. Garnier's one-step report looks at the scale of the shift towards environmentally focused resolutions and suggests that 2020 was a seminal year for change. 90% of the respondents want to be more sustainable in 21. Over 3/4 of those surveyed in India cite a reduction of plastic usage as one of their priorities. And 9 out of 10 respondents want to be more sustainable. So we can see some very, very significant groundswell of opinion behind sustainability. The writing is on the wall. Building sustainability credentials into our brands and brand communication will set us up for competitive advantage. L'Oreal is committed to protecting the beauty of the planet by fighting climate change, respecting biodiversity, and preserving natural resources. Going ahead, the third and very important theme is around brands with purpose. And there are any number of fantastic examples around us. Yeah. Today, an act of purchase is a vote. For decades, consumers did not pay very much attention to a company's values. What used to make a company attractive was its power, its efficiency, its performance. But for customers, the act of consumption was not an act of commitment. But today, the world is changing, and this is no longer enough. Consumers expect society to change, and they consider that the companies, like the governments, have a responsibility to make this change happen. And consumers also feel that they too can make a societal change happen through the choice of brands and companies. That is why they want products and brands that relate to them and reflect their values. And it is very, very critical that we serve those values of the consumer and defend them in times to come. The Kantar Purpose 2020 study demonstrated that brands with perceived positive impact outperform brands which do not. Yeah. So, for example, over a 12-year period, the brands with high perceived positive impact and purpose have a brand value of growth of 175% versus 86% for medium positive impact and 70% for low positive impact. And we in India are blessed with a plethora of brands which are doing great works. So not to play any favorites, but the Dettol Swachh Bharat campaign, P&G's Shiksha, these are some great examples. And L'Oreal Paris stands for Women's Empowerment, and it is known for its iconic tagline, "Because you're worth it." And standing true to its core, they have launched a Stand Up campaign which fights against street harassment of women. So these are going to be some very important emerging themes in times to come, which we have to be cognizant of. Yeah. But then what's the so what of it? There are any number of soothsayers, crystal ball gazers who tell you what's in the future. What is most important for all of us, leaders and thinkers, is what are we going to do about it? This really comes down to building rare skills, new talents, new expertise, and new ways of working in our organization. And to call out a few, omni-channel, offline plus e-commerce, understanding the rapidly changing consumers and channel behavior is going to be crucial in times to come across industries. Data-driven marketing, personalization at scale, performance marketing, these have now started becoming core to how we are thinking about our organization and our capabilities. Understanding and building MarTech stacks, use of voice recognition, AR, VR is coming into the mainstream. Understanding and building the new sub-channels that need to be the tools for brand safety, marketing effectiveness are going to be critical in the future. And this is where MMA becomes truly relevant to us. I'm delighted to share with you that the MMA work groups can help to better understand these dynamic areas. They're creating some great content. I talked about some of the playbooks which we have released, and there's going to be more to come. And some of the MMA work groups, especially in the area of e-commerce, the MarTech Council, the Voice and Audio Council, the Brand Safety Council, Media Effectiveness, Creative. Yeah, these are standout areas of excellence which is being created by the MMA. I'm very pleased to see that we are doing original and seminal work in India and helping digital and marketing professionals, keeping abreast with the latest and emerging frontiers of marketing. Here's an opportunity for all of us to take advantage of this virtuosity and make the best of the rest of the day. And we invite you to participate and associate with MMA as you see fit. So here's wishing you a great rest of the day. Thank you.